Hey, it's Nikki, and this is The Importance of a Local Tour Guide Will Never Decline. With the rise of audio tours and self guided tours and virtual tours, I'm often asked by people in the industry if I think travelers will continue to need local tour guides in the future. But in this question, we seem to forget that along with the evolution of travel, guides are also shifting, right? And while the all knowing lecturing guide leading 50 people with a bright orange flag is still the norm in many parts of the world, you're also finding more and more guides who, for example, share their personal passions during a tour and personal stories. Even more exciting, there's recently been a movement of guides taking on the responsibility of revealing a more diverse history on tours, instead of just sticking to the generic script, which has been the status quo for a really long time. And with this evolution, guides will continue to best whatever a traveler can get out of any self guided tour. So, in this article, I'll lay out things we already probably know, but my favorite reasons as to why a local tour guide is just going to be hard to replace. One, flexibility. This is an obvious one, right? A great tour guide is seemingly flexible, even if on the inside we're secretly stressing over getting you to the next step on time. But a guide will try to get to know you so that they can customize the tour's content to your interests. See a shop you like that's not on the tour, they can bring you inside, tell you a little bit about what's being sold, at the very least translate between you and the shopkeeper. A tour app can't create content that didn't exist to begin with, right? They're limited into what's already there. Number two, personal opinions. While tour guides work very hard to be apolitical, I actually think the most fascinating thing about a local guide is hearing their personal opinions on everything, especially when talking about current events. Even if it's biased, right? It gives me a deeper insight into one of the sides. I can always turn to the news if I want a more generic, equal explanation. Next, up-to-date logistics. Logistics are rarely a tour guide's friend, right? Sudden street fairs, entrances move due to renovations. A local guide is going to know exactly what's going on in the moment, not only on their tour, but in the city, right? Even if something surprises a tour guide, which happens. For example, you show up at a coffee shop that's been shut down suddenly due to an owner falling ill that morning, right? The guide will know two other coffee shops nearby that's still en route and en theme for the tour. Next, invested ambassadors. Tour guides live and work in the place where travelers are visiting, so they naturally have a vested interest in preserving the local culture and economy. Hopefully. This might not be fully embraced by all guides, but a local guide is going to want to show you how to best enjoy their city without totally destroying it, as we've seen too often in main tourist sites. And next, empathy. I talked about this recently. One of the most valuable skills to a tour guide is empathy. And this gives them the ability to do a lot of things that an audio tour can't, such as be the buffer between two travel buddies who have had enough of each other at this point in the trip. Answer any innocently ignorant questions with understanding. Balance your expectations with the reality of a place to, help avoid the Paris syndrome of travelers coming with this picture in their head of what a place should be and then seeing that it's not quite how they imagined. And finally, as a bonus benefit to a local guide, they know where the bathrooms are. I've yet to meet an app that can tell me not only where the nearest restroom is and whether or not I need my own toilet paper, but that they could also tell me the nearest shop where if I walk in, smile, ask nicely, the shopkeeper will let me use their bathroom, right? Very, very useful information.